for coming along. It's been a very busy day for the government. The citizens' arrest laws represent a rebalancing from the rights of criminals to the rights of victims. We continue to balance that up so that New Zealanders can be safer, and this is only right to do, with thousands of dollars of groceries walking up the door every day and no one able to do anything about it. And I've seen this myself just down the road at Newmarket, New World, people walking out the door, little able to be done about it, and it's a sense of injustice that burns deeply for New Zealanders, particularly when groceries are so expensive. It doesn't help that a portion of them are walking out the door without being paid for. That makes it more expensive for everybody else. However, I'm mainly here to talk about the charter schools, the second round. I'm so excited about this because we need to do more and better and different in education to keep children engaged. If you look at what they've done, for example, at Mastery down in Christchurch, parents actually visited Mastery schools in Australia where they started before moving their family from other cities in New Zealand to Christchurch in order that their children could attend Mastery School. This is a school that takes student teachers who might be working in other jobs unrelated to education, pays them to be teaching assistants so they've got better ratios and better on-site training, and helps children who may not have had a good time at other schools get over the line, reach their potential, building their skills, their qualifications, ultimately their future and their self-esteem so they can feel good about themselves. We had 78 applications for the first round. We approved 7 schools because we've got very high hoops and high standards, and we're now opening up for maybe another 8, maybe a few more out of the total 15 that were a total of 15 that were allowed. So there's going to be a very solid number of charter schools open by the start of next year. It's going to make a massive difference for children up and down the country. Of course, happy to take questions about any other comments, questions, issues, concerns or suggestions you may have.
Yeah, just on school lunches, we'd love to ask you a couple of questions on that.
Sure.
Lincoln Heights School in Auckland has had butter chicken for 11 out of 17 days, and there's reports of continued late deliveries. Are these still teething problems, or is the program broken?
Well, in terms of delivery, yesterday we had 100% delivered in full on time. For all of last week we had 98% delivered in full on time. So we said that there were teething problems with delivery. Those have been fixed. There is now a range of views about the quality of the meals, but for everyone that's saying they're not very good, we've got people who say actually these are great and they're better than what we had last year, so people can dispute that. I think RNZ very helpfully published a whole lot of the feedback that we've been getting, showing that there are people who think that these meals are great. On the specific issue of Lincoln Heights and getting butter chicken for so many days in a row, there are still issues that we're working through in relation to the supply, and in some cases if they can't get the right meals to the right place, they're using backup supply, and that's leading to some irregularity. I think that's also leading to why different people have different views. However, as the system gets well oiled up and works more effectively, I think we'll look back on the butter chicken issue as a teething problem, just as we look back on the on-time delivery as a teething problem that's now several weeks behind us. And to be really honest, if someone gave me butter chicken 11 times in 2 weeks, I actually wouldn't complain.
Do you think it's good enough that they're receiving 11 meals of butter chicken in a short space of time?
No, and that's not the long-term plan. The long-term plan is 20 meals that rotate, so actually you only get the same thing every 4 school weeks. Obviously, there's some challenges around getting the right meals at the right time. We're getting meals delivered, but then there's still some issues around the content, and that will improve just as the on-time delivery is improved.
And as Acting Prime Minister, what do you make of the Chinese warships re-entering the Australian exclusive economic zone? Should New Zealanders be worried?
Look, I think we should be very proud of the work of the New Zealand Defence Force. Both our Navy and our Air Force have been really on the ball here, but it shows that the world has changed. We shouldn't panic. They haven't broken any laws. This is quite normal around the world. However, we're not used to having powerful Chinese military ships this close to ourselves or our allies, and this is why it's important, as I've said for a long time, and as the government is now united in increasing our investment in defence.
And what message do you think the Chinese are trying to send by doing this?
Look, it's up to them to decide what that means. Obviously, we could read into some of their comments. That's not my job. All I know is that they can legally do this, even being inside an exclusive economic zone. It's perfectly legal. They haven't broken any laws. They're doing what they have a right to do, and we need to be prepared to meet them. I think the way that our frigates and our Air Force have met them is something that I think New Zealanders would be proud of if they were able to know all of the details that I've been briefed with. However, I also believe that this is a wake-up call that we need to invest more. And personally, I actually think that the Chinese have made a tactical error because they have alerted the New Zealand public that the world is changing and that we need to strengthen our defences.
And also, as Acting Prime Minister, what do you make of the reports that Trump is trying to cut Canada out of the Five Eyes arrangement? Is one of the Five Eyes, would New Zealand ever tolerate that move?
No, I mean, we are very loyal to our Five Eyes friends. It's one of the most important alliances that New Zealand has. We would certainly urge all members to stick together and make this alliance work because it's been hugely valuable to all five countries. I would also remind the other members that because of our geographical location, we are able to provide intelligence that sometimes others don't have access to, and because of our Kiwi ingenuity, we've been an excellent contributor to this alliance. All five of us are stronger together. Right. Well,
sorry. The Australian Defence Force says it took nearly an hour for NZDF to notify them of the live fire warning from Chinese warships. What took so long?
I've been in touch with the Minister of Defence who is seeking answers about this. I can't comment about that right now. It's likely to be an operational matter and it may also be a communication matter, not between the navies but between the Australian Navy and the media.
The Australian Defence Force found out from aviation authorities rather than the NZDF. Is our communications interoperability fit for purpose?
Well, again, we're looking into that, and the Minister of Defence has been asking questions. I'll be hearing from her when she's in a better position to comment. However, I actually think if people knew what our Navy and Air Force have been doing, as I've been briefed about in the last few days, I think New Zealand should be very proud of the NZDF, possibly also conclude that now the world's changed, we need to equip them even more.
What do you think of the UK cutting its aid budget to pay for an increase in defence spending, and could New Zealand do the same?
Well, again, the British people elect a government and that government makes decisions for them. It's not really right or appropriate for me to comment on that, just like I wouldn't want to hear about some British politician telling us what we should be doing. So, look, I respect their choices. I'm sure that they have good reasons that I may not be fully aware of, and I don't want to second-guess them.
All right. One question, just about abuse in care. 3 months ago, the Prime Minister apologised to survivors in abuse of care. Well, today's report shows it's not working, so what more will or can the government do?
I think nobody denies that Oranga Tamariki has serious problems and is in need of a turnaround job. This report is data going back over the last year. That's really the first year that the government was in place, and we are this data relates to the first year that the government was in place. We acknowledge the problems. For example, Oranga Tamariki has done much better at staff retention and has hired a lot more people than have moved on. That hadn't been happening. So I accept that this is not good enough. There's a turnaround job underway at Oranga Tamariki, but nothing that this government could do, elected just over a year ago, could change the way that Oranga Tamariki operated within 1 year. We must be resolute in our conviction that Oranga Tamariki needs to perform better. I think we've got a very good minister who's passionately committed to that, but let's be realistic. She can't change things whose causes were in the past. She can change what is in our future. Right.
That's all, Monique. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, look, thank you very much, folks, for coming up here. I hope that's helpful, and hope you have a great day.